Tomorrow is officially one of the biggest and most important days of my entire life. Tomorrow is my divorce day, and it's been a lot, to say the least. I have been doing a lot of legal documents and research in preparation for this tomorrow. This moment I have equally dreaded and looked forward to for over a year now, and the fact that it is now coming to an end officially tomorrow is mind-blowing. I cannot wait to close this chapter and to officially begin this new chapter for myself. Very exciting things happening in the near future. I am heading back to Europe very, very, very soon. And this is a big moment for me. Very, very pivotal, very scary. But I'm so impressed and proud of myself that I have been able to get through this divorce alone. And to be 25 years old and doing something of this caliber is huge. So I have a lot of self-respect and self-love for what I've been processing and going through recently. I am the youngest out of my friends to be married, and now I'm the youngest out of my friends to be divorced. So I'm going to hold that with a lot of pride.
The best thing about divorce is how carefree you become. Been there, done that. No more arguing over stupid shit. Marriage is becoming outdated. Men get married because they think they are supposed to. Women get married because they want financial security. I'm pleasantly divorced. Order versus distrust, revenge and hate. The only person in the world that hates you is sleeping in your bed. From being proud of getting married and then getting divorced as the youngest person in her social circle, she goes on to having regrets about her decision and missing her husband that she so proudly divorced.
Tomorrow's Christmas, and I'm just crying because of how hard it's been. And I feel like I'm trying to prove to myself that I can be strong this year. It's really painful dealing with the loss of everything and simultaneously dealing with these family reconnections that I haven't spent Christmas with my family in 10 years, maybe? I don't know. Maybe less. I don't know. And it's all this stress and anxiety. I'm dealing with that. And also, not having my husband.
What?
Not having my husband.
When a woman is vague, ask for facts. She's vague to avoid facts, because facts will reveal that she's the problem 100% of the time. For some women, it takes time to realize they lost a good man. For others, they never realize they had one. Ever. It's called daddy issues.
There's been a lot of questions of why I've gotten divorced, and although I don't owe anyone anything, I do understand that people are very curious. As far as the really deep personal reasoning, I don't think that that's something that needs to be shared on the internet as of now.
Why do all these women post their personal lives to the whole world as if anyone is interested in the slightest? Does this girl think I have to sit down and let total strangers know my plans and deepest thoughts? The level of narcissism is amazing in this one. You were married 5 minutes just by looking at you. So obviously commitment was an issue. Life is hard, and marriage is hard. Ask not what your partner can do for you, but what you can do for your partner every day will be a good start. I can't believe this generation. Marriages don't last 5 seconds. FYI, second marriages have even less of a chance. Get a mirror, and you will see where most of your problems lie, just like the rest of us. Deal with that before you get married.
Life after divorce. As a woman, I would honestly sit here and say, as much as I've made the decision and the choice to divorce my husband then, I also regret it. I don't regret it because I still loved him, but I regret it because I feel like I denied my children the right and the opportunity to have what people call a normal family. Now today I'm sitting with kids who are in the statistic of divorce. So as much as I've divorced, I would never ever advise anybody to go through a divorce.
A marriage contract is literally the worst contract a man can ever enter into, and it gets 100 times worse after they have kids, with wives often getting pregnant without the agreement of their husbands in order to secure themselves a lifetime of child support payments and the house if they divorce.
Even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. And when I kind of think about like what gets me upset, or why am I so sad about certain things, of him wanting to also go through with the divorce, if I don't want to be with him. My problem is not that I don't value myself or I don't have self-love. I think if I didn't, I would continue to be in this relationship. And I feel like this found awareness of myself and the self-love has brought me to this point of wanting to get the divorce and move on and find someone or many someones that fulfill me, more.
Sound like that man about to be free, and you can go out to the streets and find those many someones you want to find.
The reason why many men choose to not get married in today's society is to avoid the almost inevitable divorce, which comes with several major problems. This makes getting legally married simply a very risky undertaking, without any real benefits to men, outside of religion, and puts men at risk of losing both their financial and mental health.
Here's why women regret divorce more than men. Financially speaking, women's lives get worse after the divorce, while men's get better. The standard of living for women goes down an average of 27%, while the standard of living for men goes up 10%. So you can see why women may feel that their lives get worse after divorce, because their standards of living go down while their ex-husband's standard of living goes up.
Show of hands for everybody who knew. Bingo.
All right, let me get this straight. Queens regret divorce because after leaving their husband who paid all the bills, and after getting half of all his stuff and an alimony payout, eventually all the money dries up and then they go into the poorhouse? Oh my. It's almost like if it was a mistake of some sort. But nah, too many queens out there could find themselves another man to replace their husbands because their peepees say so. I mean, let's be honest, ladies. Age is just a number, right? Yeah, and the wall were just a bunch of bricks that you slammed in through when those eggs dried up. No.
Men are choosing to opt out of marriage, since it's a much better way of protecting yourself than relying on a prenup, especially since family courts tend to greatly rule in favor of women. In addition to this, prenups be challenged, but more importantly, there are several things that prenups can't even cover. By marrying a woman, you automatically become the legal parent to all her children, even if a woman cheats on you and the child is not yours. This makes you financially liable for child support for at least 18 years or longer, if it's in the best interest of the child.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
So here it is. In case you didn't know, and this applies to both men and women, being cheated on is traumatizing as fuck. I was married for 21 years, and cheating was never an issue in our marriage. In fact, that was the least of my worries. I never had to worry about it. I never thought I did. I never had a feeling that I had to worry about it. Never on either side. And then I got divorced, and I come into the dating field, and it is a absolute shit show. And if I had any idea what I was getting myself into, I probably would have stayed married.
Let me guess. You filed for divorce because he was too nice and didn't cause you any drama. Then you got bored. I'll take another guess. She thought everyone in the dating world was having too much fun, and she thought she was missing out. She basically walked away from a stable relationship to join chaos. I'm really beginning to think some of these women might be restarted.
Okay, this says, behind every angry wife, there is a husband who has no idea what mistake he made. I know she meant to be funny, but this is low-key one of the most dangerous places to be in a marriage. If a woman ever actually stops telling you what's wrong, your time is running out. There's always something wrong with us, okay? So if even a day goes by that we're not like, man, I have this weird sore spot like right here. It's not like quite on my nose. It's like kind of under my eye. It doesn't mean that nothing's wrong. It means that she thinks you're the problem and she doesn't count on you to fix it. I've seen a few friends go through divorces, and one common theme leading up to almost all of them is no matter how crazy the problem was, these wives stopped communicating them to the husbands. They gave up. If she stops telling you what's wrong, she has lost faith in you. At least that's what it looks like. So if you're a wife who doesn't want to divorce her husband, I highly recommend telling him when he annoys you, because otherwise, he's not going to figure it out. He's just going to keep whistling and dancing, and you're going to be the only one mad.
If I ask what's wrong and you say nothing, that's the end of it. If something is wrong and you lied to me about it when I ask, that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not oblivious. I see that something is bothering you, but I'm trusting the words you said to me. You're an adult. You are telling me that you have it under control. If that's not the case, you have all the tools available to remedy the situation, so act like an adult and participate in solving the problem.
A woman shared her regrets about not working harder to save her marriage now that her ex-husband is happily remarried. The 41-year-old woman shared to the True Off My Chest subreddit that she left her husband around 10 years ago, shortly after they'd had their first child together. According to this woman, there were no major issues in the marriage. She was a stay-at-home mom and had her husband wrapped around her finger. He did whatever she said, and she burned him out. When he grew tired of her demands, she started threatening divorce. She thought she was still a great catch and that she could do better than her husband, so she left. Now, 10 years later, the ex-husband is happily remarried with a baby daughter and a new house. The divorced woman, on the other hand, has been unmarried ever since. She's jealous of her ex-husband's new wife, saying, "She took my husband, she took my kid, she took my life that was once mine, and now I live in an empty house." She claims she is alone and miserable and wishes she would have been a better wife 10 years ago so she wouldn't be in this situation. It takes two to make things work, and many people believe this woman reaped what she sowed.
Studies show that most women are afraid to speak up about regretting their divorce. Society coddles most men and women to act like divorce is a normal everyday function, which it isn't. Thanks for watching Latest Juice. Please show us your love by subscribing to this channel and liking, sharing, and commenting on this video to help us make sure the juice is worth the squeeze.